The enormous center with oddly claws spun around. For a fleeting instant his eyes brought into mine. It was like staring into the jaws of death. He let out a cry like a wild animal and leapt towards us. I snatched up a mop and swung it at him. It struck him in the chest. His powerful claws seized it and snapped it in two. Stella's scream drowned out my own. Her cleaner's bucket stood near the door. Beavers grabbed it and tossed it at the groused creature. Then we went racing back along the corridor, our footsteps clattering on the bare concrete. Behind us we heard the savage throaty grunts as the monster center tripped on the bucket. I put on the heavy, fireproof door, and we fled out into the mall. We dived into the crowd, plowing through the shoppers, pushing people aside as we raced for the entrance. I saw our bus pulling in and called out for the others to follow me. We threw ourselves on board and fell into a seat, desperately trying to catch our breath. Stella was wide-eyed with fear. "What happened back there?" she stammered. My heart was pounding like a crazy machine. "What did we just see?" I panted. "Santa Claus," Beavis croaked. "CLAWS." "Not funny," Stella spluttered. "It's the truth," Beavis babbled. "It was Santa, but it wasn't. Not with those hands. It was some kind of zombie." "I don't believe in zombies," Stella screamed. "I don't believe in them either," Beavis screamed back. "But we saw one, didn't we?" "Maybe he was worse than that. Maybe he was a vampire," I suggested. "What?" demanded Beavis. "You saw all that red stuff on his glove," I said, with a shudder. "Anyhow, what was it? It looked like blood, right?" Other passengers were glaring at us. Some of them looked like they wanted to be sick. "He must have eaten something that bled," speculated Beavis. "Something that was still alive when he put it in his mouth." "But what?" I asked. My guts churned. "A mouse?" He wondered out loud. "A rat?" Sarah clamped her hands over her ears. "Don't," she wailed. Her voice was shook with terror. "I don't want to even think about it." The woman in the seat in front of us turned around. She looked as though she wanted to throw up. "Young man," she shouted at Beavis, "I'll have you know that Father Christmas does not eat rats." "He does," Beavis told her. "Juicy ones. We saw the blood." The woman moaned and turned away. She hunched her shoulders and made a horrible gurgling noise. I think she was throwing up. Beavis ignored her. He pointed an accusing finger at Stella. "Anyhow, it's all your fault, Stella. If it weren't for you and your idea of decorating Richie's essay, we wouldn't have seen that rat-eating Santa." "Keep your voice down, kid," yelled a pale-faced man, his hand over his mouth, "or I'll have you put off this bus." Beavis fell back against his seat. "It's not fair," he growled. "We saw him, didn't we?" I tried to calm him down. "Beavis, I'm still trying to work out what we saw," I argued quietly. "Maybe it's some kind of nightmare." "In the day," Beavis snapped back, "we were wide awake. You know it, and I know it. What we saw was real." Then Stella pointed at me and burst into a fit of giggles. "Look at Richie's hair. It's standing on end." I ran my hand over my short hair. It did feel kind of spiky. "Not funny," I complained, trying to flatten it. "Trust a girl to notice something like that. I can't help it if my hair stands when I'm nervous. Nervous, I was scared out of my wits. I glanced back through the bus window. The shopping mall was growing smaller and smaller behind us. There was no sign of the monster center. At least I told myself I could breathe easier. We'd managed to get away without being clawed or killed, but I wouldn't have felt that way if I'd known the truth. The truth was we were being followed.